So, what does Glasgow know about running a sustainable city that most places are still trying to figure out?
Quite a lot, actually, especially when it comes to sustainable events, inclusive planning, and making those big ideas work in real life.
That is awesome. So, welcome to Sips for Change, and let's chat about what Glasgow makes such an interesting case study.
This isn't just a city with good intentions. It's a city with a credible track record that even planners can actually leverage.
Right. Glasgow earned eighth place in the 2023 GDSI for business events, the only UK city at the time in the global top 10, and the first outside of Scandinavia to achieve that ranking. They scored an 84.5% across 30 audited categories.
And last year, they ranked fifth place, scoring 86%. Those are serious credentials. So, Tammy, if I'm an event planner, what does that actually mean for me on the ground?
It means you're not starting from scratch. The Glasgow Convention Bureau, through its People Make Glasgow Greener initiative, helps organizers connect with sustainable hotels, venues, and local suppliers. The Bureau also offers a Go Greener toolkit and a supplier search tool so planners can find venues and businesses with third party sustainability accreditation, such as Green Tourism and Green Key.
That alone removes a lot of friction. Having a network already in place makes planning faster and more reliable.
And Glasgow is also investing in low impact infrastructure, such as strong public transport, making it a walkable city center, and having major events hosted on site, like the Scottish Event Campus, which continues to improve its accessibility and sustainability standards. In fact, more than 62% of the city center hotel rooms in Glasgow is already have some form of third-party sustainability accreditation.
That's a solid starting point. So I have a question for you, Tammy. After a big event like COP26, which happened in Glasgow in 2021, did those habits stick?
Absolutely. More than 60% of Glasgow's tourism and events businesses reported upgrading their sustainability practices after COP26, with a clear focus on cutting food waste and reducing energy. The legacy is now built into the city's broader net zero by 2030 ambition.
That's fantastic. Now let's talk about the social side. How does Glasgow make events feel generally inclusive?
The city has a strong focus on sustainability and participation. Glasgow Life and other public services run accessible events, quiet time activities, sensory-friendly spaces, and well signposted disability-friendly venues and transport options.
And that mindset is reflected in venues too. Many major event spaces are designed with step-free access, hearing loops, and accessible toilets. The Scottish Event Campus, for example, holds a gold level under the Attitude is Everything Charter, which benchmarks best practice access for live events.
Glasgow also supports equality, diversity, and well-being trainings, including neurodiversity and inclusion awareness for staff and partners across the city's venues and public-facing services. Public sector equality and access policies push universities and cultural venues to plan for a range of accessibility requirements. So inclusive design is becoming a standard expectation, not an exception.
I love that. Let's be honest, one of the biggest challenges is consistency. If one part of the event is sustainable but another isn't, it weakens the whole effort.
Absolutely. Glasgow's strategy is to take a collaborative approach. The city's climate plan and event strategy both emphasize making events part of its wider net zero by 2030 ambition. Glasgow also has signed onto the Net Zero Carbon Events Pledge and the Glasgow Declaration on Climate Action and Tourism, which means guidance for planners is built around measurable reductions, not just theoretical.
So that systemic support matters. When there's a city level framework, it becomes easier for planners to meet sustainability targets without reinventing the wheel.
For example, public events like Glasgow's 2026 festival, inspired by the Commonwealth Games Scotland, transforms the city into a summer-long cultural showcase, from outdoor performances and community celebrations to innovative arts and music and installations, clearly designed to celebrate culture, sport, and community, with half of the funding donated to charity organizations so that more people can gain access to sports and healthcare.
And that shows how inclusion isn't an add on, it's baked into how the city funds and shapes its program. But Tammy, what about the scale of events? Is Glasgow actually attracting big, high impact gatherings outside of the ones they host themselves?
Yes, absolutely. From April 2024 to March 2025 alone, Glasgow has hosted over 430 conferences and welcomed over 140,000 delegates, injecting over 153 million pounds into the local economy. That kind of volume only works if the city builds strong, sustainable infrastructure beneath it.
And what's the city's long term vision for events?
Glasgow's event strategy to 2035 explicitly links events to sustainability, inclusivity, and net zero aligned economic growth. The city is already benchmarking performance goals against goals like 60% of Glasgow Life, Leisure, and Business members holding active third-party sustainability certifications by 2027. Another benchmark would be 60% of local event agencies having active third-party certifications, and 100% of major convention centers in Glasgow retaining active third-party sustainability certifications.
That's a very concrete roadmap. How does it translate to waste and circular economy thinking?
Glasgow is aiming to divert up to 90% of the city's municipal waste from landfill through recycling and energy from waste. And some private sector waste partners in Glasgow are already achieving landfill diversion rates close to 99.8%. That means when events plug into Glasgow's infrastructure, they're already sitting inside a strong circular economy backbone.
That's impressive. And what about where things are heading next for individual events?
The city is pushing towards more regenerative approaches, events that not only reduce harm, but are actively contributing to local economy, nature, and social well-being. Glasgow's route map to net zero carbon highlights investments in local energy, biodiversity, and low carbon infrastructure, which events can plug into. You're already seeing venues like the Scottish Event Campus report on their ESG performance, including waste diversion and energy reduction improvements as well.
That's the kind of data that makes sustainability reporting a lot easier for planners.
Exactly. So, what is the takeaway from this, Martine?
Choose destinations that make responsible choices easier, not harder. Glasgow offers a clear policy direction, strong venue level practice, and a growing culture of sustainability and inclusion that even planners can build on.
Exactly. Glasgow shows that when a city builds the right systems, strong network, clear guidance, and having shared goals, sustainability, inclusive events can become the default, not the exception.
Right. A city that makes it easier to do the right thing and makes it easier for everyone else to follow.
And that's what moves the entire industry forward.
Absolutely.
Next up, we're heading to Tampere in Finland. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it.
And remember, every event is an opportunity to make a positive impact. Bye,
Thanks for
everyone.
joining us. Bye.